Welcome to episode 40 of this Let's Play series. We're playing Dwarf Fortress. My name is DasTactic. Welcome to the channel. Hope you've been enjoying the series. It's been fun to record, I've got to say. I'm really thoroughly enjoying this, even though there hasn't been a hell of a lot of action going on. We've been able to cover a lot of principles of different sorts of things. Pretty much every episode, actually. It's been great. So I've enjoyed that because at least we've, not too many things have been too disjointed, I hope, anyway. Right, what we're going to be looking at today is the magma forging. We're now going to finally actually start to build some things. We've got some very urgent things we need to build. We have some less urgent things that we need to build as well. Now, what we're going to be doing is essentially just going and going through step by step. There's a bit of an intricate way of doing this one. There's a simple way of doing it as well. So in the layer above where I've got these little staircases, I like doing this where you've got staircases within very easy access or very easy reach of the materials that are required. Now, one thing I didn't actually do, like I've recorded it some time ago and I lost all of those, all that time, is I didn't actually set my gypsum. I didn't remake my gypsum making area, so I'm going to have to do that as well. But I'll probably, I don't know if I'll record that. We'll sort of, I mean, actually, maybe I will. But I'll do that one after the metals. But what we're doing is we're bringing down the metals down to here. This is the only actual custom area that we have for metal ores and economic as well. So I brought the economic stones down. I've got clay down here, even though I don't actually have any, but I've brought that one down as well. So we've got like, the only thing I'm not putting in this stockpile is other stone, like the standard boulders, and so they're not going to be part of this particular area. Right, so we're just going to right click and get that one out of there. Now, this is not really contained. I don't think I've got this connected to anything. No, I don't. Now, what I'm going to do is the smelters are going to be connected to this stockpile to just constantly smelt the ore. Now, if we have a strange mood where it seems that they're looking for an ore of something, I think I'll just mine it at that point if we're completely out. So the first step I think will just be to automatically just mine away and get rid of everything. Any ore that ends up in this stockpile, smelt it. So let's just go back down into here. We've got two actual magma smelters back into this side, and we have a magma kiln. All I really want to be doing here is just smelting any of the ores that we have. Now at this stage we don't have that many different types. We've got magnetite, we've got hematite, we've got where's another one? We've got galena. Okay, so we've got some galena, and we've got tetrahedrite. So we don't have a lot in the mix of ores that we actually have in this particular fortress. So we're actually quite poor in terms of our metals. So I'm just going to go across into any of these smelters, to be honest. I'm just going to go into work orders once with the magma smelter connected, and work order can be added specifically to this shop. So we're just going to go across. Now this one isn't for the actual shop. And so what I want to do is I want to make bars, and there's a lot of stuff we can actually make when we come into these sorts of things. So we can smelt or make different sorts of things. Now, when you see make, that's to make an alloy of what's, in fact, probably the easiest way to look at this, rather than going to work orders, just go back into tasks and add a new task. It will then give you a bit of a feel for what you can do. And so billion can be created. The other ones we need requires copper bars, but we can eventually sort of get that way. Adamantine wafers requires adamantine strands. So it gives us a bit of a clue as to what we can do in terms of our alloys. Now, the only alloy that's really probably worth going for potentially is bronze if we had zinc, which we don't really, brass or bronze. Bronze would be the one that we'd be wanting to do through this side. If we have a bit more of a look down, coke from lignite we don't need because we're using magma, so we don't really need that as a fuel source. The other one is, if we look at steel, so you've got pig iron requires refined coal. Steel, actually, so that one would actually, maybe that one is something that if we had lignite, we could then sort of create something there to get the steel. At this moment in time, steel is not really an option for us. Now, melt and object is something I would like to also be implementing, but we'll do that a little bit down the track. So we can now just go and smelt the actual ores that we have. And you can see there we've got tetrahedrite. We do have some native copper there as well. So these are the 5 different ores that we can then go and actually access. So if I go into work orders and say smelt galena, let's just start there. So add a work order for smelt, for just type in galena. You can see there's smelt galena ore. And if I then just go and change it, so let's just say that we're going to do, I find that sometimes when you've got like small amounts of stuff, sometimes you need the bars of whatever it is. And so I'm just going to change this one down to say from 10 to 5. so only a small amount, and then we just go across into the parameters. And so if I try to change the actual smelt galena ore, like I do actually have things where I can change the type. So this is the activation, so that's the work order. Smelt galena. Actually, I might be able to just go back one. Sorry, damn it. So my mouse double right clicks all the time. So smelt galena ore. Now can we change any of the parameters? No, we can't. Sometimes you can change your types with different types of things. So it has to be very, very specific. So we'll smelt galena ore if the amount of galena is greater than 5. So if it's greater than 5, smelt it. So only do it from there. And we're also going to tell it to only do it from a particular stockpile, I think. And so that way it's just going to look at that stockpile and then sort of work from there. So there we are. That's actually okay. Again, we don't need refined coal because we're not using a fuel source for this. So that one's done. All right, so we can then just go and add another one. So we can now go to, actually, where are we? So if we just go back in again, add another work order in through here. And so I'm just going to go to the smelters again. So smelter, back in through this side. And we then sort of had the other ones that we now need to just add in. So I'll just go and add each of these in. So it's very particular. Hematite, we'll just go back down. Number will be 5 again. And the parameters will be if the amount of hematite is greater than 5. That way we just do it in little packets and just get the bars sort of smelted out of these each and every time. So we're just going to go back across, add another one. Smelt, where are we? Smelter. We had tetrahedrite as well. But we had native copper. Actually, we'll just grab that one while that one's there. And this will be another 5. If we have more than 5. The different types, so I'll talk about the actual the working of each of these in just a second. If the copper nuggets is greater than 5, so that we'll just keep on doing it that way. I'll just pause and just put the others in. All right, so galena, hematite, native copper ore, magnetite, and tetrahedrite. Let's have a look and see if that was the mix again. If we just go back into tasks, add new task, whatever is highlighted. So we have galena, hematite, magnetite, native copper, tetrahedrite. So they're all sort of done. So we don't have anything else in this particular map. You may have a different mix. So just have a look in your tasks to see what is actually available to you. All right, that's going to get us started. Now, I also do want to have like a melting zone. If we just go back into this particular area, I'm going to now go and tell it to this stockpile links for this workshop. So it's going to take from, choose a stockpile from which the workshop will take items. I want it to take from this one through here. So this stone stockpile will be done. I might change the name of this one. I'll just click on done for there. And I'm just going to go back into here. I'm going to make this one so that this one toggles whether the stockpile can take items from anywhere or only from specific workshops. That's going to be okay. This will be the ore stockpile. So that way we know that it's actually the ore stockpile that we're using. And so that one's fine. And into this one as well. I'm just going to go back across this magma smelter, change what it takes it from as well. So it's going to take from this one as well. The ore stockpile is going to be done. And so that's really what we have in through that side. So the ore is going to come into this stockpile and then be used. Now we still do actually have all these other economic stones. I may switch them out somewhere else. Other things we've done is we've just created like an area back in through here for bars and blocks. And so this is just going to be metal bars and blocks. That's where they're going to be living. And so we can feed into that one from the 2 smelters. I think we'll just do that one so that we just go back across again. So if we go to the stockpile, to what we actually have in through this side, this is going to choose a stockpile to which the item will give items. So all we want to do with this one is just go and say, yep, give it into that one there. I'll call this one the metal bar stockpile, I think. So we'll just go back across. And so we'll just rename this one. Metal bar stock pile. Here we are. So that one's done. And similarly with the other one as well. Just need to go back down, add this one as well. So going to be providing back into this one in through here. So the metal bar stockpile is done. So there we go. Actually, was that right? I'll just double check that. Yep, that one's done. And just move across to this one here. Yep, they're both done. Great. So they now both feed into and out to, so feed from and into those two different stockpiles. So the native ore, and so the native ore one will actually end up having like this will then just collect it from where this is then dumped on the ground through here. So somebody will come and just keep on sort of shuffling that back into there. What I might do to make this one a little bit easier is just go back into my barrels. Actually, I've got one wheelbarrow, maximum wheelbarrow is 1. That'll be enough, actually, I think. But I might, yeah, no, I'll leave that one there. Because I'll still bring this one down, even from the top of the fortress, just by hand. I wouldn't be at all surprised if most of this has been done by hand. I don't think that that we've had enough goes yet of the track to sort of bring things down. Okay, so that's the first thing. Then what we're going to have is we now go to our smelter. Now, there's going to be some things that you just need one off. So in that case, just give them a work order. In this case, we can't really do anything until we actually get some bars built. So, but I'll just go through how these then work. Same sort of deal. If you just add a new task, there's so much you can do in here. I might actually wait until we've actually got a few bars built, and so we'll then come back in and sort that one out. So I'll pause this, let the game sort of run forward a little bit. Yeah, I think I'll do it this way. I think I'll come back, so at least it's being contained. I was thinking of starting up the top of the fortress. Maybe I'll do that as well. I hope you guys don't mind me sort of flicking back. So that was the smelting part under control at this point in time. Now we'll do the forging next time. Now, one of the things, we don't actually have any bars that we can use for anything, so I really can't. I wanted to make more anvils so I can start to create like a line of magma forges in through here. I need 1, 2, 3, 4 more anvils to actually get these sort of cranking along. So I can't do anything with those just yet. I don't want to make the hole in the ground until I've actually got that sorted. Okay, so we're just now going to go back up to the top of the fortress, so Shift F1, which then takes us back to my trap layer. We're now right at the very, very top of the fortress, whereas before, what we were just looking at was way at the bottom. So this is just where the top is, back in through here. Now, how's our mining going? Looking very good, very, very good. Oh wow, look at this. Oh, native platinum. Okay, so this is awesome. Platinum is extremely heavy. And so this is actually something we can use better than gold. So let's get that mined as well. This does change things for us, because this then gives us a very, very valuable metal, very heavy metal that we can start to use all sorts of different things for. So you will eventually get used to what each metal does in the game, but the platinum now adds in a whole other mix of things that we can now go and do. So we'll just go back to our mining. Just make sure that we're on auto, and we'll just auto mine this, and that'll just take that whole chunk of platinum out of there. And so that will end up down the bottom of the fortress as well. If we go back down to the bottom of the fortress, just F8 takes me back down into here. I'm just going to go back into these guys, just go into work orders, add another work order, and I'm just going to go to smelt native platinum ore. So I'm just going to add that one in, change that one to number 5 as well, enter, and just change the parameters to if the amount of platinum nuggets is greater than 5. So we'll add that one into the mix as well, because now suddenly we have a very, very valuable resource that we can start to do all sorts of things with. So that's actually now our, I'm probably going to make anything that's really, really valuable out of the platinum. So that will be sort of like a great, great resource. Shift F1 again takes us back up to here. F1 takes me to the very, very top. And so just a short distance down is where there's a seed stockpile. That's good. By the way, if you're sort of wanting to sort of see how your growing is going, like we're just sort of thumping along. We're not really accelerating with anything, which is okay. Like that's actually fine, but we can actually just go into our information areas and just go to farm plots, and we've got 16 planted. That's good stuff. Cave wheat has been planted. Pigtails, there's 5 to harvest, 6 are planted. The rye and barley are a bit light on, but that's actually okay. So again, we've got things growing, which is fine. So that's actually all working out pretty well. All right, let's go down and start working on this particular aspect that we're going to then have running through the where is it? It's down through here, around this corner. This is now an interesting mega project to a degree. So we no longer have to worry about the caravan coming. So I've now got a full year to get this thing built. Now there's some aspect to this we have to consider, and so what I've done is I've just mapped out everything that's going to happen. Now I've got no problems with the top row, because the top row is not going to be any sort of issue whatsoever. So we're not going to have any sort of real problems with the top row, for the simple reason that it's that there's no aquifer here. And so what I want to do is I don't really want to be wasting time over here until I have to, and so I'm just going to start at the bits that I need to start at. This here will only be activated after we've finished the trap, and so we do actually have a few different things in our stocks. If we have a bit of a look, for example, at corkscrews, we've got a couple of those already. If we have a look at pipe, so we've got 3 of those pipe. We've got actually we don't have pipe, wooden pipe. Oh, hang on. No, pipe may still be there. Pipe sections, there they are. Three of them as well. I actually had the wrong thing. Okay, so we've got the pipe sections are in there as well, and so these are ready to be made into pumps, which is great. Now they're not magma safe; they're just made out of wood, and so so we couldn't use them to pump magma. So we'd need to actually sort of make them out of iron or never cap or some other sort of material that is magma safe to actually have those sort of then work. So we're now going to start the process. Now what this is going to be is we're going to end up with an access point back over to here, down into this particular area, and I'll probably end up not even worrying about a door. I'm sure probably a door would be okay. I could place a door in around here. Now I'm going to create like a bit of a landing, because this is sort of like I do that with the floors that we're sort of doing good things with. So I'm just going to go across. Oh, hang on, I've got automated veins. I don't want that. So we'll just go back to just normal mining. So we go back to normal mining through there. I'm just going to paint in the bits and pieces that are required here. Now it's going to be a little bit frustrating with what does go on. We're going to go from plan through to actual. I'm just going to get started at least with the pump area and get that one done, and then we'll figure out the rest of it after that. So I'll just get the pump sorted. So we're just going to go down to there, then we're going to come back into this area, and this little zone in through here that I've painted in, I did this before as well. This is not going to be activated. This is actually on the aquifer layer. I've done this so that I can sort of get a mental picture for if any of this stuff disappears, I can then at least think, oh, okay, I was coming out to these corners. And similarly back in through here, it just gives me a map of what I was going to do in through this side around the actual plan itself, because I need to channel all of this stuff out, but I'll need to do this next bit of it elsewhere. So let's just go and get this one sorted. So we'll just go back across and just keep on painting into here. And so we're now in the aquifer at this point in time. And so this is going to have to happen pretty quickly, like when we actually do get this one going. So hopefully no one gets locked into here when we put the pump in. That's going to be the next big thing, I think. Let's just let it go and see what actually happens. Okay, so we're ripping through that. We didn't quite get down to here because now we get the water. So we've got the downstairs, and this is why we needed to have those other bits and pieces. Every single thing I do now is going to get frustrating. So I won't make you guys actually the wrong areas again. Stairs, and so we've now activated water. We need to just come back up. That will then activate, and then eventually we'll sort of get into where all this actually does then happen. Now the first thing we have to do is to channel out this whole area. So I'll just get this one ready. No one's come in yet to do it. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, Carpenter is taken by a fey mood. Now, I'll just quickly pause and discuss there's all sorts of different types of moods. And when you see fey mood or anything like this, that you'll get clues with those. If they've been possessed, it means that they don't actually... Or they still may. It's sort of weird the way it does work. Actually, I should look at the specifics. I always forget the specifics. I just tend to look at it at the time to think what's going on. But I got to stay here with what's going on here. Now this digging is claimed a DWARF workshop. Okay, that's fine. We might have a bit of... Here we go. I need to now stick with this because it's the aquifer. We don't have time to muck around. Now... I'm going to be wanting to smooth some of these walls as we go. So I'm just going to go and channel that one back out and start the smoothing process of these blocks. So another one coming back in, bang, that one's gone. Now remember that what we had there before, I've got to keep a mental picture. We had 2 flat zones for where the pump will then fall, and we also then had a channel back over through this side. Now I'm probably going to, what I might do is, just so I can actually go and stop everything from feeding in, I'll just do a normal mining operation through here to start with. Oh, here we go. Okay, I will now stop and go through to other things, and we'll have a bit of a look at what else is going on. So the Fort of Sprinkledorp, a short walk to the west, looks to your thriving economy for its future prosperity. Now, in the last episode, we looked at nobility and how, like, we had the Baronesses sort of arrive, and we spoke about holdings. We now have 2 holdings. We now have the holding of Sprinkledorp has decided that the Baroness, they want the Baroness to rule them as well. And so we sort of have a way now of communicating with them. I'll have to do this as a separate episode at some point, but let's get everything established while we're talking about this one right now. I'm just going to click on OK and just quickly pause. So what's going on here? So the fort, it's not giving us any sort of interaction as to where to look. What we do is we look at the actual world map. We center on our fort, and we'll then sort of see that we're in through here. See how the green is slightly different? This is like a paler sort of green, whereas this is a stronger green in through this side. And so you can see there when we hover over Sprinkledorp, like in any of our holdings will then look like this. So this is us through here. So this is the Fortress of Paint Daubs. And when we have a look at this one through here, this is the Dwarven Fort of Sprinkledorp. Population of around about 100. So it's got a lot more population than what we've got. The site government is the Urn of Racing. And so this is a different sort of site government. The civilization is mahogany irons, which is the same as ours, and it's economically linked to us now. So it actually now looks to us for guidance. And there's no workers available, so we can't actually take workers from there to our location. But to interact with them, we sort of do the same thing as what the outpost liaison for the mountain homes does with us. So we need to then go and create a new noble. So we'll do that one right now. So we go back in and we have a messenger. And so let's go and add a messenger in. Now we've got the mayor, the woodcutter. The woodcutter is actually a novice observer and a competent intimidator. The broker is fairly high up there. The diagnostician is okay as well. I mean, the best one is actually the mayor, Odom. It means he's going to be travelling around. Yeah, I think we'll keep him where he is. Novice observer, adequate ambusher, novice intimidator. I don't want my good miner leaving. The diagnostician, yeah, I don't know about that actually. I think that maybe one of the woodcutters is competent, novice observer. Let's go with the woodcutter, Zugler. So we'll put Zugler in that particular role. And so I can have multiple of these as well. It doesn't require anything, but if we need to now interact with them, we've got somebody that we can go and actually talk to them for us. Anyway, that's all I wanted to sort of show is what the messenger did. I wish it happened in the last episode. That would have been a cool way to sort of finish that one off. But anyway, you get what you get. So I'm just going to keep on stopping this from coming in. So we'll just let that one go in. Now that's actually now... In this case, I want to smooth in this wall, these walls in through here, and then we'll just go back across. I can now go and do the downstair there, and we can now start the process of getting all of these sort of happening now. And we'll do the same thing in through here. I don't want to smooth these areas. Keep them coming the whole time. Now, did I put another one down? I forgot what I did down in this layer. I don't think I needed it down in this layer. Or did I? That was going to be... Actually, no, this is the only layer I needed that done with, so that's fine. So we've now got ourselves a channel, a pit in through here, which is aquifer, which means it will absorb water, and we've got a channel in here, which I will need to actually go through and mine out. So I'm going to have to go in. Now I can do this from here or from the other area. Let's just go and mine that out now. So it's going to mine into this particular channel. So let's just go and do that. So that will actually then happen. Okay, good. He didn't need DNS for anything. Didn't quite get through. So I've got these little markers in here just so I get a mental picture of what I need to do. I need to then move into there. Now, I'm going to want to be placing a grate in here. So this will be for stopping any of the forces that end up, these forces of evil that end up in the other side. So we're going to need to, first of all, build our pump. So I'm going to get the pump in here right away. Now, I think we can still smooth that wall even with the pump there. It won't actually matter much with the pump. And so we're going to take from this area and pump into this area. That's going to be the plan. Now, there's also other little things in the bottom here. I'm just going to tell them to not pick these up. So we want to forbid these because once we build the pump, it's over and done with. So forbid those and hide them. We don't need to see them there. They're out of sight, out of mind. There we are. So they're dead to us. We don't want them anymore. So let's just go and build this one. So we go into our constructions, we go to machines and fluids, and we now create a screw pump. This is the first screw pump we've built in the fortress, but there'll be more to come. This is just a simple screw pump. Now what we want to do is we want to set the liquid flow direction below. Water flows from the adjacent input tile and from the tile below the tile. So we want to actually have it so that it actually flows essentially from the right to the left. We want to be pulling it from this tile here through to this pit and through this side. Now when we look at the screw pump, I'll just sort of leave it there a little bit so we can see it. You see that one end has got the gears. The gears are where the drive happens. This is where the dwarfs can come in and actually sort of work the actual pump manually, or we can do it mechanically. Now we'll eventually do some of them mechanically. This will always just be a manual pump where a dwarf has to come in and actually manually operate it. But for most of its life, this thing is going to be underwater. This is part of the underwater areas that we actually have in the actual fortress itself. And so that's why we need to have another pump on top to then clean this one out. Now at the back end where we've got the cursor, this is a solid area that fills the wall cavity, and so it creates a full seal. Anything that's on the back end, on that end of the pump, I think it's that right when you're looking at it. Yeah, so if it's going in that direction, it's then going to get, so the opposite for me, I've sort of got like a mirror thing going. When it goes in that direction in the screen, you're going to find that it will then not be able to come back. So anything that gets pumped into there will not come back. An aquifer can absorb water, so it's a constant sponge for us as well. So by having this little aquifer channel, or this little aquifer area, I've got a sealed zone I can just pump stuff back into without any real problems. And so we're going to now just go that way, just making sure that the important access is to the gear area. So we just go and place that one through there. It requires blocks, so we'll get a slate block. Requires a corkscrew and requires a pipe section, and that's it. So that will now be built. In the meantime, this has now been channeled out, ready for us. Now I hope I've got a grate actually. I'm just going to see if I've got a grate. I hope I didn't actually think about trying to create one. If we just go to a wall grate, what this will then do is it will then mean that only door breakers will be able to break it open, but they're going to be underwater, so they probably won't get to it. So I'm just going to place a grate in here. We don't have one. Okay, we need to go back up to our workshops. So I didn't actually build a grate. So I'm going to make these out of rock. So I'm just going to go in and go to tasks, create a new tasks, and make a make a rock grate, and do it now. It's urgent. So before I can do anything, I need to have this rock grate. I may even add another one as well, just so we actually end up with a couple of these that are fairly urgent. In fact, we'll make it 3. Just on the off chance that nobody comes and does that one. So Shift F1, back up into this position again. The other thing I want to do here is put a hatch on top so that things, just for double safety, just so that anything that is in there may drown by the time it actually breaks it open. So let's just go and place a hatch there. So doors and hatches, hatch, and I've got a couple of these left. So we'll just go and place that one there. So ultimately this will all be underwater, and this will be underwater as well. They're going to have to swim through 2 Z layers to actually reach us. So that's the start of the process. Now we're sort of under the pump a little bit here. So let's just go back and have another look. Come on guys, this is urgent, this is urgent. I hope it's not that slowpoke. He's not making his way through, is he? I think he is. No one else, oh no, he's going into there, that's okay. This is the guy that, this is the crafts dwarf. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. He's going to make it out of granite, that's fine. Oh, here we go. It's all happening, guys, it's all happening. The Werekangaroo, Atira Sava has come. A large kangaroo twisted into humanoid form. It is crazed for blood and flesh. Its eyes glow azure. Its dark brown hair is long and straight. So this is interesting. Now, you see it's the full moon. We now have a full moon. Now you'll know why you fear the night. So we're in the 11th of sandstone. This is now a bit of a problem. So we've got a Werekangaroo. I'm going to click OK and quickly pause because we have to find this thing. We have to lock the fortress down now. And this is a shame because we're sort of in the middle of trying to build all these different things as well, and we now have to deal with this one. Where the hell are you? It will be upstairs. Here it is here. Wow, looks great. Looks great. So Atira Isisthevatha. Atira Isisthevatha. Okay, there we go. Or Atira Dwelled Morve is the one. It's 217 years old. It's healthy, of course. A Werecreature will always be healthy the next day. Now, who have we got out here? We have some. He's right close to the fortress. Damn it! We're going to lose Fecod, the herbalist. This isn't good. He's terrified while in conflict. I'll just get rid of some of these other things while we're sort of looking at this one here. All right, well, got petitions in through this side. We'll deny those. Now this is very, very dangerous for us. There is no saving Fecod. If anyone else is outside as well, there's no saving them either. We have to wait out the week of the full moon. So we've got nothing else we can really do. I can't see anyone else. There may be others out there. Anyone that's out there is basically dead. There's still stuff to pick up out here. That's why I'm thinking that there may be. But the herbalist was out collecting things. Oh, there's another one. Who have we got there through here? This is on the peasant. So we've got another one out there as well. Well, they're not going to make it. There is no way that they're going to make it through here. So basically, for the sake of the fortress, hard decision, but we have to close the fortress down. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is to close the door. So I'm going to close this one off. So that's going to be forbidden. I'm going to leave this open to try to entice them in, because we will actually try to then sort of trap them in these bottom layers. And it will change back to its human form or humanoid form at the end of the full moon. So if I can bring it in, I can then trap it and then kill whoever it ends up being. So that's sort of one thing. This is all isolated away from these particular zones. So again, we isolated this digging zone away. Now that's magnetite again. I'll just go and, while we're here, let's just go and mine those two as well. Just get them out of the way. That was great, actually. That mining there, that was an enormous amount of ore was actually gotten from that vein, and in fact, from that little pocket of ore. It was just solid ore all the way through there. Anyway, that's beside the point. We have to now sort of deal with what we actually have in through this side. Now, I've kept these up, so we're diverting anything around the other side. That will be interesting to see if we can actually bring it down into here. I don't think we're going to have anyone on this particular area at all. So we're now just going to give the instruction for everyone to come back inside. There's no one on This is again off our main area, so this is actually okay. So let's just go back up top. So we've now got a fair few other different sorts of things to do. I'll let that build up. That will still drain away into these other zones. So we may have to come back and fix this up afterwards, which I can do. I've sort of thought that one through if we did end up, not with this situation, but a similar sort of situation. Anything can happen in this game. So we've got everything sort of now set up. I would love it to fall into here and get killed by these. So the Werekangaroo, let's just go back up to F1. We need to close this bridge. They are door breakers, so eventually it will break into here. First thing we do though is we're going to say, okay guys, inside, we're now going to enact the actual burrows. So the burrow is now in action. So everyone will try to make it back inside. F5 to come back in. We have the tower gate, we have the tower door. And this is the one we need to close. So we're just going to pull that lever, do it now. And so if it gets into the staircase, we're in a lot of trouble. If we just go back up the top again and just watch what actually happens into here. I'm just going to reduce the speed and we'll then just go through it. It moves incredibly fast. Now if they can run away, this guy does have a sword. He's not going to be able to outrun it though. So he's charging off. Here comes the other peasant. So they're both together. In the meantime, he's gone after the peasant. Okay. There's no point fighting it. This hasn't raised yet, so that's still a bit dangerous. Have a bit of a look and see what actually happens in through here. And no blood yet. No blood. Yep, so Zon cancels storing an item in a bin, so he was interrupted by the Werekangaroo. So a large kangaroo twisted into humanoid form and is crazed for blood and flesh. Its eyes glow azure. It's dark brown hair. Actually, does it have? No, the azure is like a purple colour, but it's actually red eyes in the model. So I'm so surprised at what they've actually done with the graphics in the game, and but that's not an azure look in the actual eyes itself. Now you know why you fear the night. Okay, let's just watch what happens in through here. They're both sort of in the same direction. They're keeping ahead of it. It's going to take a few days before it actually, they're going to have to avoid it for some time. They may be able to make it down through the. No, it's not going to make it. He may get away. I would like him to get away. If Zon, what do we know about Zon? Zon is 117 years old. Her spouse is Snowdub, esteemed nightmare by the looks of things, is it? Yes, so we don't actually have anyone living with her. Her nephew is here, Solon the Bard, and that's it. And her piglet is just going to become a piglet in the piggery after this. So that one's not going to be. So she doesn't really have anyone really here. So she's here on her own, running away from a Werekangaroo. Now, we're still not getting any actual fighting yet, so she's doing a good job of running. Now, is Zon making it back up? I can't see where Zon actually is. They'll get exhausted. He's here. Okay, so he's here, hopefully making a bit of a run for the inside. Actually, where the hell are they? There they are. So this is on the edge of the map now. It's going to get caught. And now we get the fighting started. So we can now sort of see what actually happened through here. So the peasant Zon, this is Zon in through here. Yep. So she did dodge out of the way. So the Werekangaroo attacks the peasant, but she jumps away. So I'm not going to send the military out. This is not worth our poor military is not going to be able to contend with this at all. Who's that? That's just something from the other attacks. And she's now been caught. If we have another look and see what else has happened in the meantime, it happens so fast. So the Werekangaroo punches the peasant in the left eyelid with its right hand, bruising the skin. The force twists the head, tearing apart the fat. She then yells out, "I must withdraw." The Werekangaroo attacks the peasant, but she jumps away, grabs the peasant by the third toe left foot with its right arm. The peasant punches the Werekangaroo in the right lower leg with her right hand, bruising the muscle. The Werekangaroo throws the peasant by the third toe, bites the peasant in the left hand, bruising the muscle. This is important. I might just go through this in detail. A bite from a Werecreature will change that person, if they survive, into a Werecreature on the next full moon. And so it can be onerous to read through these, but if you're really wanting to make 100% sure, you've got to look for bites and then you've got to look for something that doesn't just bruise. It's got to actually break through. And so the peasant slams into an obstacle from being thrown, bites the peasant in the left hand, tearing the muscle through the pigtail left mitten. That's the difference. See, bruising the muscle means that the left mitten actually protected from the bite, but then tearing the muscle means that the bite has gotten through. Now we have were blood running through this particular character. So in one sense, we sort of want this character to die. Otherwise, we have to manage it so that it can't interact with anyone. It's going to go crazy, basically. What's going to happen to it over the course of the month? It will starve. We'll have to sort of lock it away somewhere where it's not with anyone else. Lock it away. It will then sort of starve for the month and almost die. Tune into another Werekangaroo at that point in time, get fully healed, and then to go through the same cycle again and again and again. So that's what will just keep on happening. And we can't have doors or furniture or anything. So it's a very shitty existence for anyone that's actually caught in that situation. Anyway, that's a problem with her right now. If she survives, which I don't think she will, an artery's been opened in the attack, a motor nerve has been severed. There we go. It latches on firmly. Basically, the peasant loses control of the glove, shakes the peasant around in the left hand, and the severed part sails off in an arc, so we should see her hand under there somewhere. Left hand is ripped away and remains in the Werekangaroo's grip. The peasant is unable to break the grip of the right foot, and then it releases the lower arm releases the foot. The peasant then stands up. That's where we currently are. Now, I'm expecting that the peasant will die very, very quickly. So we just let it go for a little bit longer. There's the blood and snow and things sort of falling while this is all happening. And then we sort of see that her mutilated corpse is now there. Now, she can't come back from the dead, unless, of course, a necromancer comes. But so that's now sort of finished in that aspect. Let's have a bit of a look to see where the other character actually got to. Did he make it back? I hope so. He should be running back inside. I'm not seeing him. These guys are safe. They're outside of that particular area. That's different again. I'm not seeing him in this pit at all. I think he's still outside somewhere. I think he's just absolutely panic-stricken. So if we have a look and see who our... it's Fecod. Now he's still over here. He's a fair distance away, but not too far. The Werekangaroo was up here. So if they triangulate... I think he's going to get caught. Let's just let him go. Okay, the peasant has been found dead. He's moving away. I think he's in a panic state. Yeah, I don't know where he's going. Has the tide turned? I must press on. Terrified at this point in time. So the last thoughts of absolute terror. And so he's running in the wrong direction in his panic. Now, the Werekangaroo. Let's just follow the Werekangaroo. Now it's actually chomping away over through here. We'll just watch this one. And then when it starts to get going again, we'll then sort of try to figure out what it's doing. There's the severed arm. So every moment that we spend with this one is good, because it does give the herbalist time to sort of come to his senses and then run down the ramp. Now it's moving slowly. Hasn't got another target just yet. It's heading, sort of meandering down towards where the other one actually was. So I might just let that one go, but we'll still just keep on following it. It's now the next day, so this is good. We've got about 5 days of... Here he goes. It's going to then catch his scent. Now, if they can get downstairs, if he can go down fast enough... Come on, get inside. I don't think he's going to make it. I think he's screwed. Stopped. Oh, here we go. So it's now just changed back. So this is Itira Isisthava, an elf. So the elf has got no clothes on, if we have a look at the actual elf itself. And so it's now just gone off the full moon. So the 12th, it was only 1 day, actually. We were lucky. It came in at the end of its cycle. But this now we have to be careful of. So we need to start to be wary. And this will be able to leap. Like, it'll be able to leap over buildings and things like this. So it could be really, really dangerous for us. If if we have a look and see its thoughts, it was terrified while in conflict. So that when they wake up, they become ostracized. No one really knows, like when he wanders off the map, no one will remember that this was the actual Werekangaroo. Back in through here. Personality, his great creativity. So in terms, he's just going to be a weird elf, a weird naked elf. If we go back and look at his items, we're then going to sort of see that there's a little bit of Atira's tears in his right and left eyes, so he's been crying a little bit, and he's just got snow. There's nothing else. He doesn't carry anything else with him because it all falls off when he transforms into the Werekangaroo. Anyway, that's our Werekangaroo just changed back. So our herbalist lives to fight another day, which is awesome. What we may do is actually stop him from going outside, actually, if that's the case. Actually, what I will do is I'll just now go back and we'll unrestrict the burrows because we've now got a full month until the next potential problem. We only lost one. That was actually not too bad. So I'm now going to open this one up. So we're just going to make that one passable. We'll just go back down to the very bottom of the fortress, F5, and we'll now just go and open up that gate as well. Pull the lever, do it now. You can see how close that thing got before we saw it. That's the other thing as well. We may want to get a military sort of patrolling, but we're not strong enough yet for any of that. Anyway, that's all going to be done. Let's actually the time. We're out of time. Shift F1. Just go back into here. How are we going? We're still building this now. Nobody's come in to smooth these yet, so we do actually have now a bit of water filling into this side. Let's just go up to the top and just see how they're going with these. Okay, we've got a granite grate there. Someone has slated this one to come and pick it up. The next one will be a mica grate. If we have a bit of a look down, I think we're going to have to wait for somebody to come and pick that up and then put it into their furniture stockpile, and then we're going to be able to make use of it. So I'll leave it here, and thanks for watching. It's a shame we couldn't have just kept it all self-contained into one episode, but it looks like it's going to be over maybe 2 or even 3 episodes just to get the smelting and the manufacturing done, get this mega project done as well, and any other little interactions like the Werekangaroo. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time.